Hello, everyone. My name is Lam Quan. I'd like to share how Feng Shui and Buddhism saved me. I came to the United States when I was 10 years old. I met my Feng Shui master when I was 27. After 8 years of learning one on one with him, he bestowed a name as me as a Feng Shui master, Lam Quan. After that, I came started teaching class and helped certain people. And I noticed, I spent about 4 years doing that. And I noticed, even though I have classes for free and I teach people and I spoon fed them much more than what my master taught me, and they couldn't take it in. So I came back to my master and I told him, I said, why when I teach people they can't learn what I have learned? And he says, well, you are that's why I chose you instead of other people. You are very special of learning feng shui. And he stated, in my past life, I was already a feng shui master. So that's why, spending 8 years with him was just a refresh course of learning feng shui. And therefore, I did help some company and I did help some family. And I noticed, that, even they, came from rag to riches. But I noticed, after a few years after that, they couldn't keep what they had made. So I was very disappointed. So I went back to my master and he told me, after learning from him, he gave me the title master. But, I said, there's something is not right. And I asked him, you teach me four different main part of feng shui: heaven luck, okay, which is timing; earth luck, which is place; and human luck, which is the actual human being. And he always emphasized that heaven luck weighs 50% of feng shui. The reason he stated that is, in a person's life, they only have four opportunity to be successful in life. Basically, to be debt free. Okay. One time when you're in your 30, the second time is in your 40, the third time is in your 50, and the fourth time is in your 60. 70, you're a bit too old. Mostly, you're already retired. And from 10 to 20, you're still too young. You're still in school. So he emphasized heaven luck heavily. Okay. And earth luck weighs 16.6%. Human luck weighs 16.6. And then the qua, which is the direction that you inherit when you are born. Okay, you either qua 1, qua 2, qua 3, qua 4, qua 6, qua 7, qua 8, and qua 9. Okay, you either belong to the east or the west group. And the qua is 16.6%. So that total up, that four categories total up to 100%. That's why after learning from him, I started out, going out to teach and try to help people. But, after 4 years of doing that, I come to realize that, something is not correct. So I told him, I said, in my understanding and the way I look at it, I think the human luck weighs 50%, and heaven, earth, and qua is 16.6 each. And I told him, I gave him an example. Let's say what happened if a human that live incorrectly, they don't, practice a good living. They do drugs, they do alcohol, they gamble, and when the good year come, they cannot capitalize on it because they don't have the luck to inherit it. So then, after a while talking to him, and he think about it, he said, you may be right because in his life he only helped one family. So that's why he weighed very heavily on the human luck, on the heaven luck. But I go out and I meet different company and different people, and therefore I notice, I help a company, starting out from 86,000. After 7 years, they sold their company for $7.5 million. So I come, and after that, the three partners, two of them went bankrupt, and only one, sustained and kept on going up because he practiced what I preach on to him. Is the human luck is very crucial. So therefore, after that, I come to realize I have a lot to learn about the human luck because, he also, when he first taught me Feng Shui, he said there are 5 universal laws you must understand. Not to kill, not to steal, not to commit adultery, not to lie, and not to intoxicate. Okay? So after he said that, he never went into depth about these topics. But he said, these laws exist. That's all he emphasized. So I spent 8 years with him learning Feng Shui about land formation, shapes of land, heaven luck, earth luck, qua, and all these wonderful things. And it was a daily learning. After work, I would come to his house daily to learn from him. On Saturday, I would, stay with him for 8 hours to learn. And 8 years like that. So I come to realize, so I didn't help anybody else. I began to practice myself on the human luck, like living correctly, okay? I think I really need to learn and master that for me to be able to call myself a master of Feng Shui. And now I really think I'm only at the level as a student of Feng Shui, not a master yet. So, I try to share what I have learned. I have read many Feng Shui books out here, in the bookstore, but none of this information is ever written. That's why my master, when he first met me, he said, what I know about Feng Shui is very little, but what I know, nobody knows. That's why I need to find someone to pass it on to. And he chose me. So, when he chose me, I was very surprised because I told him, I said, look, I came to the United States when I was 10 years old. So my Vietnamese is not, I can speak and read a little bit, but I'm not that fluent, writing. And he says, don't worry, you can learn. I know you're capable. So, what he said was true because what he, when he taught me, I could actually, like a sponge, I absorb things very quick and I would, regurgitate back to him. He was very surprised. So from then on, we stayed and we learned. And, I see the importance of Feng Shui. Feng Shui, okay, it's not only, placing things in your house or positioning your bed or your table or your desk at work, but it's much broader than that. That is the micro, I'm sorry. The macro of Feng Shui is the land, the shapes of land that your house sits on, how your house sits on within the neighborhood, okay? And, he taught me extensively on those things. But we'll talk about that topic at a later time. But today, okay, I will give you an example of what, how feng shui is, on your daily living. You will interact with feng shui on a daily basis, and I will prove it to you. On 2018, this is my live example, okay? On 2018, that year, that particular year, the heaven, my heaven versus that heaven, I was only 5 out of 10, which is only 50% of my luck is working, okay? And then on the month, that particular month, I was supposed to go, particular month and dates and hour, I was supposed to go meet a friend of mine, and the month was 2 out of 10. That particular day was 3 out of 10, and the hour that I left the house, which is from 8 to 10, I was supposed to meet him at 10, so I left the house at 8:30, was 4 out of 10, so a combined of luck is only 14 out of 40, okay? We're talking about a feng shui calendar. I know nobody have ever heard of these things, okay? I know you know about the solar calendar, and you understand about the lunar calendar. Have you ever heard of such a thing as a feng shui calendar? This is what is feng shui based on. The yin and the yang and the 5 element, okay? So these are the breakdown that I break down for myself daily, so I know, is that particular year is good for me, is that particular month is good, is that particular day is auspicious, or that particular hour that I'm going to do something is auspicious or inauspicious. For that reason, I'm going to give you a real human life example, okay? So I code my my calendar. If it's from 1 to 4 out of 10, I put it in red color. And if it's 5 to 6 out of 10, I put it yellow, which is caution. And if it's 7, 8, 9, and 10, I give it a green light, okay? So that's how I use my calendar. I color code it. So now it's easier for me to see, what I should do when it's green or whatnot. But to do these things and to accomplish, okay, and to achieve what you want to achieve, you have to have the living correctly, very, very correct and very strong, okay? So that particular day, I was supposed to going southeast from my house. I'm going to go southeast to meet my friend. He lives in southeast of Houston. So I drove, and I knew, why I learned feng shui from my master. I'd ask him. He said, because if you learn feng shui, you will know from point A to point B what's in between. You won't be blindfolded. You won't be dumb luck reaching your destination. You know how you're going to get there. So most people unknowingly on this knowledge, they just go on their daily life unknowingly, based on their luck. That's it. But, luckily he's taught me, so I understand. I knew, that particular day, year, month, days, and hours not auspicious for me. So I knew I was to have to be very, very careful driving. Okay, so I didn't speed or anything. I followed, the sign, and heading southeast is my total lost direction because my qua is qua 8. And southeast is qua 4. So it's qua 8 and qua 4. When they meet, it's a total loss. So I knew the southeast represent the oldest daughter. Each direction represent a human being. So the oldest daughter, So I knew if I drive and if I meet a policeman and if she was a woman, if the police officer was a woman, I knew I would get a ticket. But if I get a man police officer, most likely I would be spared. So, I knew ahead of time. So I was very careful driving. So when I reached a stoplight, at the red light, I stopped and then I was gonna turn right. So most of the time when you see a red light and you turn right, you are legally to turn right. But at that particular intersection, they said no right turn on red. I didn't see the sign. Okay. So I turned and I got pulled over by a police officer. Okay. He asked for my insurance and my driver license. And, I said I didn't see the sign. That's what I told him. And he went back to his car and he did some, do his running, checking, or whatever he did. He came back out. He gave me a warning instead of a ticket. He says, I realized you don't live in this area, because he looked at my driver license. I live out in Sugar Land. So he says, I'll give you a warning this time. So I was very happy. So I pursued on and went to my friend's place and and visit him. So that's what happened. That's how Feng Shui really is applied on a daily basis, from the year to the month to the day to the hour. And I know nobody have ever heard of these things about Feng Shui. But to me, after 18 years or more of learning living correctly, now I'm, I have 32 years of Feng Shui experience. I'm gonna come out and try to help people and explain to them what Feng Shui really is. Okay, the daily living of living correctly is really important. Everyone has heard the saying, most battles are won before they even start. This is especially true in Feng Shui because the key to winning the battle is in the positioning stage. A person obtains an advantageous position by living correctly. To live correctly, one must practice the 5 universal laws and cultivate the 4 virtues. They are as follows. The 5 universal laws, or the 5 precepts in the Buddhism teaching: no killing, no lying, no stealing, no committing adultery, no intoxication. And the 4 virtues are not to judge, not to compare, not to be wasteful, do one good deed a day. Doing a good deed involves treating other living beings with kindness and compassion. It is said that kindness bestows happiness and compassion relieve being from suffering. Only being living correctly on a daily basis can one obtain a winning position and be properly prepared for battle. And truly, Feng Shui never emphasize, they talk about the 5 universal laws, but I have to learn Buddhism. I have to really dig deep within the 5 precepts and learn very profoundly for 18 plus years, okay, to learn. And I still have not mastered that yet. But I really believe at this level, I think I'm at the kindergarten stage of Feng Shui, of Buddhism. But Feng Shui, I made it in elementary or middle school because I still lack the living correctly part. But once I master that, I think I can really, really, help a lot of people. But what the little knowledge I know now, I hope that I can share and help people, that we can learn from each other and help to be better people. Okay, and I hope the next clip I do, I would try to give you more example, and we'll discuss on the heaven topic. How heaven is really concentrated on. Okay, so everybody have a good Mother's Day. I wish all the mother a very happy Mother's Day, and have a wonderful evening. Okay, bye bye.